Okay, so I'm doing a video here for the Beacon of Doom, displaying the 5 books. Some of Maker's prints have made their way in to this shot. Kilkenny boards are on the background, on the bottom. I'm going to go through the books individually, but as a whole we have the Beacon of Doom. This is the main book. The main rule book with a beginner set of what's available to play with. You then have maps and charts for Beacon of Doom. I will move the slug. You have the detailed race profiles, which is a thicker book. And then you have some quests and campaigns for Beacon of Doom Book 1 and Book 2. I'm working on Book 3, but I'm not there yet. So I will have to actually break up this video into bigger things, but I can get this in the first one. This is the main book for Beacon of Doom. If you get the PDF, of course, you don't have to turn any folders. Lovely credits page here that flies away. Mentions how to contact the author, how to contact Maker Millwright, otherwise known as the Free Heathen. He's on Twitch, he's on Twitter, he's on a whole lot of things. Neat little decorations in the book. Of course, you got basic gameplay, starter set to the universe, goes through all this. How to play, difficulty modes, let's build a character, and for the GM. Again, cute little decorations. If you can translate these, by all means do. The race and detailed race profiles actually has all their dialogues. That is one of the alien languages that's in the book. This covers how to play. Goes through the adventurer's tale and the war log. So basically the war campaign that you have with the game, because the game can work as an adventure game and as a war log. And I'll just keep it in one mode so I don't make people dizzy. You've got the difficulty modes. You can be a traveler, normal, shirts or skins, not quite right in the head. Let's build a character. And these are different stats basically. Normal is fine for the first one. If you want it really harder, you get more experience, more loot, but you take more damage. You recover a little bit more. Weapons rating is a bit more, and so is defensive rating. But, you know, not quite right in the head mode means you have to work, you get more experience, more loot, but you take more damage. So how hard do you want the game to be? You get to choose that. Yes, I'm going to switch out of the sideways mode. This defines where it is. Again, these are the different races you can pick from. There are one-time modifiers for each race, depending on which race you're building a character right now. You review the character sheet, do whatever treat. Yeah, anyway, it's just fun. Let's have ice cream or jello, and then you actually make your character. So this goes through in detail what your different race choices are. Has a picture of the planet, description, weather and other factors, physical, mental, emotional traits. You then have some inherited skills and some generic skills. You can choose 5 of the generic skills for your character. You inherit all of these, but you can only choose 5 of these. There's a whole bunch to pick from. You have inherited certain skills because you're a member of a race, but that doesn't mean that every member of that race is a super smart person. No, that's not true. So you have to pick and choose where you chose to lead your life before starting the game. This is Calmut. These are your basic stats for Calmut. Again, your physical emotional traits, weather and other factors. There aren't always something for each one. Your inherited skills, generic skills. Again, choose 5, that's the same. This one is Ashtar. Your basic skills for a character you choose. I'm not going to go through every race in this, I'm just going to give you the basic ideas. It would be a very long video if I went through every single one. Basically does that for all the things. This is the Laxiot in the 9-verse. Their world has been broken apart, so it's kind of floating around with 3 main pieces all generally kept together because of this little gravity node in the middle that keeps the water in place and therefore keeps everything going. And this is actually part of the rod that broke it apart into 3 pieces, which is from the original calamity that destroyed, basically broke their empire apart in the 90s. Same thing, description, factors, stats, and then all the other things you can add. So you can the one-time multipliers and so on and so forth. Rogue class, soldier, scholar, brute. Again, these are all societal roles. What role do you have? If you're living on Kelmut, difference of races. If you're living on Kelmut, you got modifiers. If you live on your home world, you have different modifiers. Does your tact go up or persuasion go up? Does your persuasion go down? Depends on where you're living, your societal effects. Ongoing character modifiers. So this affects your character build as well. Of course, help is wanted for okay goods. I have fun sometimes. This is where we explain the character sheet. So we are about to come across a character sheet. When it says character race, these are your choices. Height, weight, age, appearance, other. It defines each thing on the character thing. Your persuasion, your dexterity, your skill to avoid attacks, your dodge, your distance you can balance along a tight lip, and the height you can fall without taking damage. That's part of your dexterity. Your IQ, where does that come into it? Carry weight, your perks. So when you're filling out the character sheet, what perks do you have? External influences. And then again, here, like I say, the character sheet. This is where you're at this point. You can download this online for free. This is in the book, so you can take notes or just so you can study it because it's part of the game. Here it's in there. For the Game Master, these are rules for the Game Master. When you're running a campaign, you have certain perks, you have certain responsibilities. This lists them all. Limit making, trade or sell, gravity, the process of generalizations, gravity method. You're trying to figure out gravity. And this is part of a strategy you can use in your campaigns or not. If you're from a different world and you're on a planet that has different gravity than your own, you can use that fact to affect your players. Okay, your damage, you can take more damage because you're on a world that has higher gravity than what you're accustomed to. You're going to run slower because you're on a higher gravity world than you're accustomed to. Or are you from that world, then you're just plain normal, and meaning normal. This can be used when calculating your campaigns. You can also choose to say, nope, they're in spacesuits, they're all fine. You're the Game Master, you get to choose this. It was fun making all these different tables. Still continue on the Game Master, how to use servers, flamethrowers, and other mods. You can add mods to the players if you believe they need that. Different obstacles in play, water, desert, space, mountain, ice terrain. How does weather play in? This basically describes what would happen for each player. It started to rain. Well, rain. So 85s are different. Everyone else is fine. I believe there was, the G and E actually gain 5 HP when it's raining. Same with the Chisane, because they're from basic water world. B2s gain 5 HP. Some of these they lose though. And I'm just looking for one. And the phone, of course, is hovering while I look for one. Some of them you lose. Well, here we go. In the mountain, the Calaxians lose 5 HP. Okay, they live underwater. They don't climb mountains. If you're in a mountain plain, the Calaxians just lost 5 HP. They aren't used to climbing mountains. Come on, really. Be fair. General goods, you're going to buy something. So you got your store here. Of course, you got pictures. You got links throughout. You'll see more of those later on. Generic armor. Loot boxes, how do they work? Okay, we got shipyards. The shipyards came in later on. Shipyards, certain planets have them. And you can go and get your ship repaired. You can get upgrades. You can build your own shipyards if you follow through the quests and campaigns. Sample campaigns. This describes the tables that follow for the stats. Of course, they're throughout. It's actually a neat little story if you follow those. Starter set to the universe. The universe proper, this is where you start off. General terrain. Again, there's a link for each one if you want to click on it so you can download the Free Heathens figures and machines and terrain pieces to play the game, to build your own terrain blocks, more advertisements, and no, of course, OK Goods doesn't actually exist. It's created for the game. And then all these items that are in these ads can be downloaded though. Here we have the 3 main worlds that you follow: Kalmut, Ashtar, Calaxios. Everyone else gets drawn into it though. In the book you'll notice shows the solar system with the planet, 2 sides and then just drawn out. This is the water moon Calaxios. Gives you their lore, their history. Then it goes through the terrain for that world. Submarine vehicles. This is the stat block for each item. If there's notes, there's notes. Describes them. There's a link for each one again when you want to download it. That looks awesome. I want that. There's a download. If they just have simple stats for armor, then that just has that. But some of them you can download and print out. Get your 3D printer going or send it to someone else to print. The one that's colored is the planet that is being talked about, in case you're wondering. But Kalmut, the hub, then we got terrain. It goes like that for every world. I'm actually looking for one that describes, because on Kalmut there's different people, there are DR that live on Kalmut, so this describes them. These are the Kalmut DR, the Kalmut Oxchan. They have different stats on different worlds. Okay, planet Ashtar. Again, Ashtar would be the colored planet, shows where in the solar system they are. This one has a bit more. It describes extra effects for each one. And it goes like that throughout. And this is the main basic book. It's not have all the pieces and all the players and all the things you can do. This has a basic rule set. Gives you an idea of what you can do. There's a description of each and lovely little things in each one. Planet Chalks. Has stories and links. Covers all the servers. All the server units are in one section. The 9-verse is the extra one. These are the extra planets, sorry. This is where, Farshin is where the plant people came from. They invaded Plavia. They have since been ejected from Plavia after enslaving them and making them do horrible things. Hence, no one trusts the Plavians anymore. Why would you? You can't really trust those suckers, eh? They rely on them, and the Plavians are going to save everyone's butts in 3rd book. So, they'll learn to trust it. Or maybe they never will. I don't know. There's 2 different languages. There's one. There's another. That's actually the plant people dialogue. This is a different world. Planet Plavia. Goldilocks zone. Farshin is not in the Goldilocks zone. And it goes into the 9-verse. Not fully explored yet, not fully expanded on. The game has gone into it, so you can explore in. You can now go into the 9-verse and make your own base, and make your own, have your own ships set up so you can explore it, battle more monsters that float through space and attack you. A lot of the worlds are the same, but some planets are destroyed. This is the floating planet. And this was the Beacon of Doom book described. I will describe others in a different video.